Okay. So we shall start now. Okay.
We must.
So, so we have already learned the indefinite articles and definite articles, isn't it? In class 5 and class 4, we have learned already the indefinite articles and definite articles in class 4 and 5. Once again, we revise. Let's start. Okay. So what we have, les articles indéfinis. How to say in French? Les articles indéfinis. Les articles indéfinis. Indefinite articles. So we know that there are only two genders in French, right? There are only two genders. We have masculine and feminine. We have masculine and feminine gender in French. And all the nouns are under these two genders. All the nouns are under these two genders. So if you happen to see a before a noun, it means the noun is masculine. If you see before the noun un is written, that means the noun is feminine. So and decide the noun is masculine and un means the noun is feminine, right? So we have the plural of the indefinite articles. We have they. They is the plural form of indefinite articles, which means some. Okay. So we can see some examples. We can see un garçon, a boy, une fille, a girl. Now, if we write in plural form un garçon, it will be des garçons. Une fille, it will be des filles. Now, next is an homme. An homme, a man, des hommes, men. Une femme, a woman, des femmes, women. Un livre, a book, des livres, books. Une gomme, an eraser, des gommes, erasers. Right? So this is the thing. So we have an for masculine, une for feminine, and they is the plural of the masculine and feminine plural. We have they is the indefinite article plural, right? So what are the definite articles now? Who can say definite articles? Indefinite articles. Did you understand? If you have any question, yes, Srija.
Monsieur, I wanted to say the definite articles.
Yes, definite articles.
Lo, la, and le.
Yes, lo indicates the noun is
Masculine.
masculine, and la indicates the noun is
Feminine.
feminine, and le
The noun is plural.
plural, right? So we have now les articles définis. Previous, just now we have learned les articles indéfinis. Now we have les articles définis, definite articles. So as Srija said, lo indicates the noun is masculine and la indicates the noun is feminine, right? And lo, if you see before a noun, that means it is a masculine noun, and la, if you see before a noun, is feminine. But some nouns in masculine and feminine starts with vowels and silent H. Some nouns are there which starts with vowels and silent H. So we can see lo before a noun indicates that a noun is masculine, and la indicates the noun is feminine. But remember, if the noun starts with a vowel, a, e, o, u, and silent s, h, then we place l apostrophe in place of lo or la. In place of lo or la, we place l apostrophe. Isn't it? Okay. So le is the plural form of definite articles, which means the. So a, un, a also means a or an. Un also means a or an. They is the plural form. Similarly, lo, it means the. La also means the. There is a difference in the gender. And le also indicates the. Now you can see lo stilo. the pen. Les stylos, the pens. La chaise, the chair. Les chaises, the chairs. L'homme, the man. Les hommes, the men. L'usine, okay, the factory. Les usines, the factories. You can see these two nouns starting with us, and the next noun here using starts with a vowel. So that's why we are placing L apostrophe. Note, if the word starts with a vowel, then we place L apostrophe in front of the nouns. But then how we will be understanding whether nouns are masculine or feminine? How will be understanding that? So let's see. So it's very simple to understand how we need to know these things properly. Most of the nouns ending in the letter E are feminine. Remember that most of the nouns ending with E are feminine. Okay, and those which ends in consonants are masculine. But there are some exception cases are also there. There are some exception cases. Some nouns ends in E are masculine, and some nouns ends in consonant are feminine. Just the opposite of this statement, above statement. Okay, so you need to remember those words. Okay, we need to remember those words which ends in E but are masculine. Generally, we know that ending with consonants are masculine. Generally, what we know? Generally, we know that ending with consonants, if a noun ends with consonants, are masculine, isn't it? According to the first sentence, first statement. Yes, according to the first statement, we know that the nouns ending with consonants are masculine. But there are few exception cases where the noun ends with E but are masculine. Like we have some examples. Livre. If you say livre, which means book, livre ends with E, but it's a masculine word. We need to remember those words particularly. Okay. Now, there are few nouns I told in the first statement it's written. The nouns which ends in E are feminine. The nouns which ends in E are feminine. This is general. Okay. But there are few exception cases where the noun ends in consonants but are feminine. Like maison. If you say maison, maison means house. Maison is house, right? So maison, it ends with an. An is a consonant. So we need to remember those words which ends in consonant but are feminine. Okay, like leçon, listen, leçon. It ends with what? Consonant and, but is a feminine gender. Is it clear to all of you? Okay. Okay. So we are going to the next one. So we should know the verbs now. We should start learning the verbs. Let's discuss about the pronouns first before starting the verbs. So pronouns already we have learned in class 4 and 5. Again, we are repeating the same thing. Now, those who are missing today's class, we are not going to help them further. Okay. So les pronoms usés, subject pronouns. Les pronoms usés, subject pronouns. We can see here the subject pronouns. Zo. Zo means I. So I, we know in English what we say is a first person singular. The first person singular is I, and the plural of I is we. So we in French is nous. Nous and we in English, nous in French is the first person plural form. So first person singular is zo, and first person plural is nous. Okay, right? So what are these? These are called subject pronouns. These are called pronouns. Don't tell me when you go to class 7, if we ask you, I am a boy. Now this statement, now I is what? Don't tell that I is a verb. I'm surprised to hear in class 7 and 8, still the children, they don't know. The students, they don't know I is what. Okay.
It's your pronoun.
Yes, remember that. Okay, when you are learning English or French, whatever the language you are learning, learn it properly. Don't say, don't forget. In class 7, when you go, you are forgetting whatever you have been taught in class 6. Okay, you should remember. You should remember, because otherwise you will not be going for the next what you was means that you will not be able to remember the things after later on. It will be tough for you to understand next in the next class. Zo is I, and the plural of zo is nu, we. Tu, you, tu is you as singular form. Okay, second person singular, and the plural of tu or you all. If I say you all, then it is vous. Now remember, vous is not only considered the plural form, but also it's a singular form when we are addressing to elders. When we are addressing formally, when we are saying formally, then we can singular also it can be. Okay, when we are addressing to elders, vous is formal as well as not informal. Informal will be tu. It can be vous is formal as well as it is plural form also. Okay, there's a plural of tu also. Now next is il. Il is he. Now sometimes that I have seen students saying il as al. How it can be? Il is il only. Al is this. Okay, il is he or it. Al is she or it. Right? And the plural of il is il. And the plural of al is al. So she becomes they. In English we say they, but in French we say we remain. It is the sound is same. Okay, don't tell ils or
Excuse
else.
me, sir.
Yes.
So most of the children, while pronouncing il pluriel, they say ils. So I just want to tell you, children, this is not, the pronunciation doesn't change. Il become il only, not ils.
Yeah.
Don't
It
pronounce
will not
as.
be ils. Okay. Il, il. The sound will remain unchanged. Okay. Il, al, al. So zo, tu, il, al, nous, vous, il, al. Got it? Okay. So we're going to the next one now. In French, verbs are divided into 3 groups now. So we have learned the pronouns before starting with the verbs. Okay. So we say the subject pronouns we have learned. Now verbs. Verbs whose infinitive ends in AR. Remember, once again I'm saying ending in AR. ER. In French we say AR. Okay. Those we considered the first group. Ending in ER, IR, ER, it belongs to the second group. And those which belongs to at the end, the suffix ends with RA. The suffix means the end letters. Okay, the end letters are RA or ER and OER. Those belongs to the third group. Those belongs to the third group. Now you may say, sir, in the second group also we have ER, and in the third group also we have ER. So we'll be giving a list of the verbs which are in the second group. You need to remember those verbs. You have to remember those verbs. You should remember, right? Before we start with this, let's discuss the auxiliary verbs. Now, before starting with the 3 groups, we'll be having 2 helping verbs. In English, we have 2 helping verbs, to be and to have. So to be, what are the forms of the verb to be? Isan Chanda. Isan Chanda, what are the different forms of the verb to be? What are the different forms of the verb to be? Trisha Chaudhary. What are different forms of the verb to be? Swarnab Saha. The different forms of the verb to be. Swarnab Saha, please switch on your video. Swarnab Saha. What are the different forms of the verb to be? In English, I'm asking, not in French. Aditya Majumdar, yes.
Monsieur, are being
I did not get you. Loudly.
uh, are was being
I.
being
I.
no are are
Are. Okay.
are
Are.
are
I'm asking about the present tense, you say. Only in the present. Are. Okay. You have given
being
are. Any more?
was
Was is not
being
in the present. Was is the past.
then being being.
Yes, Aditya.
Monsieur,
Huh?
you,
You. Just now I told you you is a pronoun. How can it be a verb?
Monsieur,
Different form
Yes,
of to
Rita.
be verbs, sir is asking.
Monsieur am is
And are. Yes, very good. Am, is, and are. These are the different forms of the verb to be. I'm surprised to hear. See, the rest they don't know. Okay, so the verb is be. Remember, the verb is be, and the forms of the verb are is, am, and are. So am goes with always I. Is goes with he, she, it. And then are goes with you, we, they. It goes with they. You have not learned in the previous classes these things. You have learned, I think so. Why don't you remember? Okay.
Monsieur.
You need to remember those things already. You have learned in class 3 these things, isn't it? So you're in class 6 now. You should remember. So there are two helping verbs. Okay. So être, avoir. Être means to be. So to be, if you say the French version of to be is être. To have is avoir. So these two are the auxiliary verbs in French, and in English we have to be and to have. So let's see the verb être, to be. Now next day I'll be asking, we'll be asking in the class. If you don't respond, then just let me know.
Okay.
Or not
Yes,
respond.
sir. Yes, sir.
Je
Yes, sir.
suis. Je suis means I am. Again, we are studying from the scratch, the grammar, French verbs. Okay. Je suis. We have learned already in class 4. Je suis means I am. Tu es means you are. Tu es. So you can see these are the different forms. I said no, I. Are cannot go with I, or am cannot go with you. You am I can't say. It will not be going with those pronouns. Okay. So the forms which goes with the pronouns, the forms of the verb which goes with the pronouns are given here. You should not change. It will remain as it is. Je suis, tu es. Je suis, tu es. Then il est, elle est. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est. Now, if the third person singular names are coming, names. So these names are considered one name. So we'll be considering it as third person, isn't it? So is this third person, Sneha or Tushar, whatever. So is one name, third person singular. So Sneha A, Tushar A. And then we are coming, we are nous sommes. Nous sommes. Vous êtes. Vous êtes. Ils sont. Ils sont. Elles sont. Elles sont. Sneha et Rohit sont. Right? Once again, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, Sneha est, Tushar est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. Sneha et Rohit sont. So we have learned the verb at. The meanings are written over here, so you'll understand. So if Sneha and Rohit, I'm adding Rohit here. So when we are adding more than one names, it becomes third person plural form. It becomes third person plural, right? So song will be going with that. So we are going to the next one, avoir. Avoir means to have. Avoir means to have. So we here the different forms of the verb. You can see with the different pronouns how it's written. Ze, ze, tu, a. The previous is tu, a. This is zo sweet, tu, a, il, a, l, a. All a. This is a. And here in this one, a. Ze, tu, a, il, a, l, a. A. If you find anywhere, it means has. I was asking you in the class, you could not reply, many of you. Il, a, l, a. Third person singular. Il is third person. L is also third person singular. So Sneha, if any name comes, one name, so it will be Sneha a. Third person singular form. Tushar a. Next we have nous avons. Nous avons. Vous avez. S and A together, the sound will be Z sound. When a word ends with S and the next word starts with a vowel, there's a linking of the sound, okay? So we say liaison in French. So nous avons, nous avons. Vous avez, vous avez. Ils ont, ils ont. Elles ont, ils ont, elles ont. Sneha et Rohit ont. Sneha et Rohit ont. Two names, more than one. So it will be third person plural form. Do you have any question till here? If you have any question, please raise right now. Afterwards, don't raise. Once again, you see, in this one, it is ils sont. Ils sont. And here in this is ils ont. Ils ont. Okay, elles ont. So we have done with the two auxiliary verbs. Now we'll be starting with the first group verbs. Now let's see how we start with the first group. First group verbs ends in AF, as I have said earlier. So all regular verbs whose infinitive ends, infinitive means the end letters, ends in AF belong to this group. Belong to which group? The first group. Okay, except only one verb is exception. The verb is aller. The verb is aller, which you have learned already in class 5, right? The present tense of all AR verbs is conjugated by removing. Now, how do we make the present tense of the first group verb? The present of the first group verbs. Okay, but see, the ending is er, so you need to remove the this last two letters er. Whatever is left behind that, we say that is the root of the verb. That is the root, and the endings are, let's see in here, it will be better. So you see, the ending letters are af. The ending letters are af, so it belongs to the first group. So if you remove af from PARL, so what PARL becomes what? The root of the verb. It becomes the root, isn't it? So you can see we have written PARL, all the PARL. Now we will be joining. So this is the rule. You need to join these letters. Okay, you need to join. This is the rule. A, AS for with you, A here, A, ONS. When you see nu is there, PARL, then you need to join ONS. When you see who is written, PARL is Z. And for third person plural form, we add A and B. Okay, so it comes like this. Zo parle, tu parle, il parle, elle parle. Rita, third person singular, one, parle. Nous parlons. Vous parlez. Il parle, L, parle. Right? Mahi, A, John. A means and. More than one name you can write, even in giving commas, you can join more names here. Third person, whenever more than one is a third person plural form. Mahi,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, in il parle, so we will not pronounce E and T, no?
No, no. Il parle.
Okay, sir.
Zo parle. These are parle, parle. Parlons, parler. Three sounds. Parle, parlons, parler. Parle, parlons, parler. Okay? So il parle, elle parle.
Il
If
parle.
you say parlons here, then what is the difference between these two? There will be no sound here. Here, the parle only. Parle, parlons, parler. Okay?
Master definition.
Okay. So I'll be giving you one to do. Let's see how you do this. I'll take out your notebook. Let me see how you do this.
Sir, rough notebook or French notebook?
No, rough notebook. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Do this one. Rogarde. What it means? Rogarde means
To watch.
watch.
to watch.
Watch.
And also to look at. Look at means to watch. Right now, do this verb and show it in and send it in the group. Ma'am, you check. Ma'am, you have the names. No, I don't have the names.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So you
sir.
can see who is sending.
Excuse me, Mr.
Yes,
Also in the
Aditya?
WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
in
sir.
notebook
In the
or
WhatsApp
in
group.
rough notebook or in the school notebook, French notebook.
You do it in school notebook only. Aditya, no problem.
Yeah, you can do in a school notebook also. You have seen my Nakshatra in class 4.
Nakshatra, sir.
Someone knows French in at home. Class 4. She is writing J'ai compris, monsieur.
Okay. Is he an? Acha, he is a new child. Yeah.
See.
J'ai compris. That is in passé composé. Wow.
Yeah. Hurry up, be fast.
One or two send now only. I can tell you if you send.
So you have copied the verb, isn't it, all of you?
We must.
Okay.
Sankalp, did you understand? Are you doing it? Sankalp?
Who did not
Sankalp,
understand here? Okay, you can raise your hand.
Tell
Who did
now
not
only.
understand?
Cuban beer, did you
Isan
understand?
Chanda, did you understand, Isan?
Yes, ma'am.
Isan Chanda, Cuban beat. Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Understanding a little bit.
Cuban beer send now
Okay.
as you have done.
Try
Yes,
to do that
Trisha, you are
verb,
correct.
Isan.
Trisha, you are correct.
We must see.
Well, send this first one.
Trisha Chaudhary.
Okay. So you send later on. Write down this verb and send later on. So we are going to the next one now. Otherwise, we can't wait for so long. Okay. So we are going to the next one. Now you see if the verb. All of you please pay attention here now. There. Not to write now. Afterwards you send. Not now. Okay. But send today only. So next the verb is abite. Now you can see the verb. In this verb, if you observe the verb abite, the same way you'll be doing the verb for the first group. See, it also ends in air. So that means it belongs to the first group, isn't it? So when you remove a and r, so we are left with as, a, pe, I, te. So this becomes the root of the verb, right? So we write this and then we add the endings this way. Okay. So, but here in this case, you can see if the verb starts with vowels and h, us, okay, then we need to place apostrophe sign in this case, the first one. So note, zo is shortened z apostrophe when a verb starts with a vowel or silent h, right? With a verb, with a vowel a, e, o, u or silent h. Did you understand? Do you get me? Yes or no?
We must.
Ishan?
We must.
Ishan Chanda.
Smarak, did you understand?
We madam.
Aditya. Aditya. Okay. Where's Ishan Chanda?
Ishan, please turn on your video, Ishan.
I'm
Sir,
call
he's
his
not
mom.
there in the room.
He's
not
there.
there in the room. Huh?
He's there. Call his mom.
He's there.
Yeah.
But I can't see him. Okay. Yes, yes. He's playing with emojis.
Yeah. Call his mom once.
Yes, sir. Shan Chanda.
Okay. So it's recorded. Now we'll play the video in front of principal ma'am. Then he will understand. Okay. When a verb starts with a vowel, a, e, o, u or silent h. So you're going to the next one, ma. So you can see here the verb starts with a vowel now here in this case. So you can see that is why that apostrophe sign we are giving. Isn't it? Right? Yeah.
We must.
Okay. So we have learned all these verbs. You can see, take out your book. All of you take out your book. All of you take out your book and see in the first lesson, the first group verbs are displayed there. No, many verbs are there given. Okay. Yes. So all those verbs you need to practice. Right? All those verbs you need to practice. Right? Okay.
We
Sir,
must.
his mother did not pick up the call.
Okay, ma'am. So now next verb, we told you that there is an exception case. This verb, ale, this verb is exception from the first group. So it is the irregular group. It falls under the irregular verbs. Okay. So the suffix ends in air, but it does not follow the first group. It does not follow the first group rules. And it falls under the irregular group of verbs. Okay. So here you need to learn this verb by heart. You need to learn this verb by heart. Zo ve. I go or I am going. Zo ve. If I say I am going, don't write zo sui. Don't use the sui. Zo ve means I am going as well as I go. Okay. Next is tuva. Zo ve. Next is tuva. Right. Il va. elle va. So third person again, our name is coming now. Peter va. Peter is goes or Peter is going. Nous allons. We are going. Nous allons. We are going. Vous allez. You all are going. Ils vont. They are going or they go. Elles vont. Peter et Amit vont. Okay. So you can see. Remember the vont here. This one. Ve, va. This va. Allons. Aller. Vont. Okay. Je vais. Tu vas. Il va. Elle va. Peter va. Nous allons. Vous allez. Ils vont. Elles vont. Peter, or you can say Kartiv et Esani vont à la cafétéria. So Kartiv and Esani are going to the cafeteria. Right? Am I clear to all of you?
We must, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So we are going to the
Yes,
next
sir.
one. So these verbs given in your book, I have written it. We have written it like this way. Okay, the same verbs are given in your book. Practice these verbs. Practice the verbs given in your book. I think the page number. What's the page number?
These next.
This
These
nav.
These nav.
Pass this nav. Pass this nav, isn't it? So all of you need to practice pass this nav. The other commonly used ear verbs. So all are given here. Practice those verbs nicely. And the meanings also. You need to learn the meanings even. Suppose if we ask you, what is the verb to have lunch? So you should say easily, to have lunch, we say déjeuner. To have lunch, we say déjeuner, isn't it? Yes or no?
Oui, monsieur.
Next, okay, let's discuss visiter, the verb that we say the sounds. Visiter, préférer, préférer, étudier, étudier, travailler, travailler, détester, détester, sonder. Now, if we ask you, can you do the conjugation of the verb sonder? Oral. You need to say oral. Orally, you should say now. So you'll be saying how to say. You need to remember how it is formed. So you can say je sonde, tu sondes, il sonde, elle sonde, nous sondons, vous sondez, il sonde, elle sonde. Okay. Now, if I ask you the verb étudier, how to conjugate? So you'll be saying j'étudie, tu étudies, il étudie, elle étudie.